Okay, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dad, the Kid, and Games. It is Vash again, and just here to talk about a the segment again. And as always, it is just about being a dad and having a kid, and enjoying the geek life and trying to make it all work. Sorry if my mic's not tuned well. Got some new lighting, as you can see, so we're trying to make this a little bit better for everybody. Hopefully, should have a new camera next couple of weeks so that make these videos a little bit nicer for everybody. Right now there's not a whole lot going on that I can really figure out where I want to go with the topics, since right now I don't know what people are wanting help with. So I'm going to kind of just ramble a little bit about what I've been doing for the last 7 years, almost 7 years now. Really, 5.5, 6 years. So as I've said before, always be yourself. Always try to get the help you can to help watch your daughter or your son, and try to live life as much as you can without giving up anything your child may need. One of the other things I do recommend, as your child gets older, you can start them off at any age, and I know some parents that do, but I do recommend trying to get your child involved in something, whether it's sports, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, whatever you feel comfortable with doing, and make sure you set that time aside for them. That is their time. Just like you have your own time, you need to make sure you give your child their own time as well. So on that note, like right now, my daughter's in bowling, so she bowls every Saturday at our bowling alley, and she enjoys it. She loves it. We actually ventured to City tournament this past weekend, and she has another tournament this weekend with City. So keep your child active. I always recommend that. Get them in karate if you can, or something else. Especially if you have little girls, I really recommend some type of self-defense mechanism, so that way they can, protect themselves. It is a scary world out there. But again, being a single dad, I do have to make, beforehand, before all this, before dating Kira and everything, it was take her to the park, go off and do stuff, and that's what I would recommend too. Yes, you want to go have your nightly fun, and that's fine. Do go out, have fun, have a beer, do whatever, but make sure you take some time for her or your child, and just be like, hey, let's go to the park, and just push her on the swing. They love that. They just want your attention, even if it's negative or positive, and we want to make sure you give them as much positive attention. You don't want to sit there and just yell at them, pick up your room, or spank them for doing the right thing, because when they're tiny, that's what happens. You spank them on the butt, you just give them a stern talking to, and you want to make sure you give them that negativity when it's needed, but you want to make sure you give a lot of positive reinforcement on a lot of positive notes. So I would recommend strongly to just find something you could do on the weekend as well with them. Take them to the movies. It don't have to be anything extravagant. Just do something with them. That makes them happy, and that way you stay involved in their life. And as they get older, and they get to like my daughter's age now, 7, about to be 7, they want you around. They want to be around. Yeah, they're gonna push you. Yes, they're going to stress you out. But that's their job. Their job is to stress you out. Their job is to push your buttons. Just don't let them. And one thing I don't think I've ever really talked about is integration of the family. And what I mean by that is, being single and having a kiddo, bringing a woman or boy in your life to be part of your child's life. Now, normally I would recommend waiting before you ever introduce anyone to your children. So that way, it's going to last, and this is something that is going to be around forever, or as long as you think. You don't want to bring them around the child too soon, because then if they do leave or something does happen, then you have no idea what how your child's going to be affected by it. Men and women jumping in and out of their lives. Little girls see women come and go for dads. Women see men come and go, and you don't want to give them a bad impression, or an impression that is their fault at all, or that is a healthy thing to keep bringing people in and out of your life, because it's no matter what, it's not a healthy thing, whether we're dating or whether you're long term or whatever the case is. You don't want to keep messing with the household, I should say. So make sure you find the right time to bring the child around. I'd probably say usually around 6 months, if not longer, because usually on that 6 month mark, that's when the person's probably going to stay around, or they're probably going to leave. And make sure you're happy, because the only way your child's going to be happy is if you're happy. So, in that earlier time frame, make sure that before you introduce them, that you're happy. Make sure, everyone is okay with meeting each other. And maybe the first time you introduce them to them is take them to that safe place, that park, like I said earlier, if that's what you all do. Take them somewhere that the child feels safe, that the child knows it's okay. So that way they feel like they can connect in their own safe environment. I wouldn't recommend necessarily the house off the bat. I would really recommend to take them to somewhere that they know and love first. And then that way, you can slowly bring them around more and more, and then bring them around to the home as well. The other thing I would recommend as well would be to spend as much time as a unit, so all of you out at once, so that way everyone can get a little attention, everyone can have their own time together. The other thing I would say would be, make sure that they also get some solo time with each other, so that way they could also integrate, and you can see how they're going to integrate with each other as well. And again, another way for you to say, okay, this is something I want to stay with, this is something I'm not, because you're going to have your own ground rules going into it, and the person jumping in needs to kind of adjust to that ground rules that you have. Well, they may want to go ahead and put their own ground rules in, and you want to try to integrate as much as you can, but everyone needs to understand that rules have been set in place for however many months, years before the other person shows up. And just like you need to understand an outsider's point of view and what they feel and maybe what they grew up with and how they were raised. They're going to give you another perspective as well. One that you don't have because, the spouse isn't there of the actual child. It's your new spouse. It's your new boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case is. So I would recommend that. I would recommend to just take your time and slowly integrate everything. It's something I wanted to talk about, and trying to keep these videos a little short just because, again, I don't have a lot of topic to go over right now. I'm kind of just slowly talking a little about this and that and the other thing, and I don't want to go on a tangent like I have on a couple of the videos. So that's my advice for this one right now, and see where it takes you, see where it goes. Like I said, I'm slowly trying to give a little advice here, a little advice there, until Kira can pop in, and when she does, she can explain how it is as coming in from the outside looking in the relationship. And don't, like I said, I think it's in other videos, and I'm gonna say it again, I'm gonna stress it every time. Let your kid get into whatever geek stuff you're into. Let them have fun. Let them get into Star Wars, Star Trek, Starship Troopers, Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, whatever the case is. Let them get into the same stuff that you are into, because if they do, then they know they can accept it. Don't let sexuality pick which superhero they get. My daughter for the longest time loved Spider-Man. Now she's more on a Wonder Woman. Let them find that on their own. Don't push one thing or another for them. If they're little girls, don't push Wonder Woman. If they're little boys, don't push Batman. Don't push. Let them find the heroes that they like. And eventually they'll start reading the comics if they want to. Like if you do, if you read them around them, they'll start reading them. My daughter likes to read the comics of My Little Ponies and Turtles. Let them find it though, because that'll help them. I love comics for the stories and for the characters. Sometimes you feel like you can relate to the characters and understand what they're going through depending on the storyline. Because let's face it, yes, they're superheroes, but they're written by a person who is a normal person. And that normal person sees the world a certain way, and maybe that way is the way you see it. One of my favorite writers is James O'Barr for The Crow. Garth Ennis for Punisher. J. Michael Straczynski is some of my favorite writers right there. Those guys are dark. Well, let me rephrase. Garth Ennis and James O'Barr are really, really dark. And sometimes you may have those dark thoughts, and it's nice to see that other people do too. But they got other things out there, like V for Vendetta, which is done by Alan Moore, who gives you more of that look at the society at the time. And right now that's kind of coming back around even. Frank Miller had a couple of good runs in his time. Now there are some stuff I say is iffy. I loved his Daredevil. Batman, not so much. It was a good storyline. It was one of the best ones for Batman as a standalone thing, but still. But let them find them on their own, because they're going to find that hero. They're going to read that comic one day and be like, man, I really love Wonder Woman for that one issue where she did X, Y, and Z. Or, man, I love Spider-Woman because she did X, Y, and Z. And my dog has gotten to the garbage, so hold on one second. Oh, I guess they stopped. So, that's what I would recommend, is that you take your time and just let them find their own thing. On that note, I do want to make another quick comment about what we're doing here. I know lately we have been off the channel for a little while. Kira's been sick. I gotten sick. Uh, the other people we brought in, one of them got into a car accident. So everything's kind of been hectic, but everything's kind of flattening out now. So, hopefully everything will be back onto a normal schedule. We should hopefully have a Let's Play up on Thursday, and Friday we have a comic book review as well. So again, on that note, please like, subscribe, comment, ask questions if you have any questions for me and what you feel from like a single dad point of view, or single parenting, I should say, point of view of how to help raise your kid. If you have any questions or what I did, and I'll be glad to let y'all know. But again, like, comment, subscribe. Y'all have a great night.